Hello everyone, myself Akshita from Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. Today I am here to explain the topic about overview and statement testing. Let's move into contents. Overview of structural testing, types of structural testing, advantages of structural testing, disadvantages of structural testing, introduction to statement testing, benefits of statement testing, limitations of statement testing, and conclusion. Let's move into overview of structural testing. Structural testing is a type of software testing that uses the internal design of the software for testing, or in other words, the software testing which is performed by the team which knows the development phase of the software is known as structural testing. Structural testing is related to the internal design and implementation of the software. That is, it involves the development team members in the testing team. It tests different aspects of the software according to its types. Structural testing is just the opposite of behavioral testing. Types of structural testing. There are four types of structural testing. First one is control flow testing. Control flow testing is a type of structural testing that uses the program's control flow as a model. The entire code, design, and structure of the software have to be known for its type of testing. Often, this type of testing is used by the developers to test their own code and implementation. This method is used to test the logic of the code so that required result can be obtained. Second is data flow testing. In data flow testing, it uses the control flow graph to explore the unreasonable things that can happen to data. The detection of data flow anomalies are based on the associations between values and variables without being initialized usage of variables. Initialized variables are not used once. Third one is slice-based testing. This slice-based testing was originally proposed by Weiser and Gallagher for the software maintenance. It is useful for software debugging, software maintenance, program understanding, and also for quantification of functional cohesion. It divides the program into different slices and tests that slice, which can majorly affect the entire software. Fourth type is mutation testing. Mutation testing is a type of software testing that is performed to design new software tests and also evaluate the quality of already existing software tests. Mutation testing is related to modification a program in small ways. It focuses to help the tester develop effective tests or locate weaknesses in the test data used for the program. Mutation testing has the following three types. They are value mutation, decision mutation, and statement mutation. Now, let's look into advantages of structural testing. So, advantages are it provides through testing of the software. It helps in finding out defects at an early stage. It also helps in elimination of dead code. It is not time consuming as it is mostly automated. Structural testing also provides easy coding and implementation. Structural testing does not require a lot of manual work as it is an automated process. Now let's look into disadvantages of structural testing. So there are some of the disadvantages. They are it requires knowledge of the code to perform test. Structural testing also requires training in the tools that are used for testing. Structural testing sometimes it is expensive. In structural testing, there is a small chance of missing some statements or commands in the code unintentionally. In-depth knowledge about the programming language it is necessary in order to perform structural testing. Now let's look into Introduction to Statement Testing. Statement testing is a software testing technique that involves validation, the execution of individual statements in the code to ensure they perform as intended. This form of testing is typically done to achieve statement coverage, a metric that measures the percentage of executable statements in the code that have been executed and tested. Next, features of statement testing. There are some of the features. Test case design. Create test cases that ensure every statement in the code is executed at least once. Consider different input values and conditions that may affect the flow of the program to achieve full coverage. Execution. This execution will run the test cases against the code. They also monitor the execution to confirm that each statement is executed. Verification. The statement testing will check the results of each test case to verify that the statements produce the outcomes. Identify any discrepancies and determine if they are due to incorrect code logic issues. Next, coverage analysis. Use coverage analysis tools to measure the statement coverage that is achieved by the test cases. Aim for 100% statement coverage, though in practice, this may be challenging for large and complex systems. Reporting and fixing. Document any statements that fail to execute correctly. Debug and fix the issues. Then rerun the test cases to ensure the problems are resolved. Now let's look into benefits of statement testing. There are many benefits of statement testing. Let's look into it. First benefit, ensures through testing. Each line of code is executed, which can uncover hidden bugs. It also improves code quality. By identifying and fixing issues early, the overall quality of the code is enhanced. Simplifies debugging. This is another benefit which is used for focusing on individual statements that can make it easier to isolate and also fix the problems. Next, let's look into limitations of statement testing. There are many limitations. Some of them are does not cover all paths, may miss complex bugs, lack of branch testing, and also missed conditions. Let's look into one by one briefly. First, does not cover all paths. Statement testing does not guarantee that all possible execution paths are tested, which may leave some bugs undetected, may miss complex bugs, issues related to the interaction between multiple statements or more complex logic might not be identified. Lack of branch testing. In lack of branch testing, statement testing does not ensure that all branches or decision points in the code are tested. This means that while each individual statement may be executed, the various possible paths through the code may not be. Next is missed conditions. In this missed conditions, conditional statements like if and else may not be fully tested if only one condition is exercised. So these are some of the limitations of statement testing. Now let's look into conclusion. In conclusion, structural testing is a white box testing technique where code design is tested. Structural testing techniques may help us to identify the otherwise overlooked flaws in the code structure. Statement testing is valuable for achieving a certain level of code coverage and identifying straightforward bugs. It should be complemented with other testing methods like branch testing, part testing, and also integration testing to ensure a more thorough and effective testing process. Statement testing is an essential technique in the software testing process aimed at verifying the execution of individual statements in the code. It also helps in identifying and eliminating bugs by ensuring that each statement is executed at least once. So this is all about overview and statement testing. Thank you.